Dispatch. I am your host, Avery, or Rowan, depending on who you are. Um, Today's topic is very close to my heart. It's called Grace Fueled Productivity. How to stay productive without burning out. It's hard to balance life and God and all this stuff and staying productive without getting mad at yourself for not doing all the things that you should be doing. Um, Burning out is a state of emotional and physical mental exhaustion, can cause prolonged stress if and often leads to fatigue, lack of focus, motivation, feeling of hopelessness, headache, or sleep deprivation. Withdraws and responsibility to turn to unhealthy coping mechanisms. Um, let's discuss a bit of a bit of good verses that I suggest you guys go look at. I am suggesting Matthew 11:28 through 30. Come as you are, all who are weary, burdened, and I will give you rest. Genesis 2:20 or 2:2 through 3. God himself rested on the seventh day. That's like a brief description. If you guys are interested, I will link it. Link or not link it. I'll write down the verses below. Um, Productivity with a purpose. Productivity through partnership with God. In Proverbs 16:3, commit to the Lord whatever you do. He will establish your plans. So don't focus too much on what you have to do today. God will help you through today. If you need to get this done and this done and this done, don't stress out if you can't get it all done. Try your hardest to get it done, but if you don't, just add it to the list tomorrow. It's not that big of a deal. But if you're in a time crunch, I would suggest doing it every other, or doing whatever you have to do that first, and then do the other stuff that you need to get done. In Colossians 2:23 through 24, whatever you do, work at it with all your heart as God, as working for the Lord. Whatever you do, do it as if the Lord himself told you to do it. It's okay uh, to be overwhelmed with their to-do lists, and it is important to have to-do lists, but overwhelming yourself is not going to help you get these things achievable. Embrace God's grace if you don't complete everything. In 2 Corinthians 12:9, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. If you are feeling weak and that you can't get this done and you're just not, it's okay. Just do it tomorrow. It's not, if you can't mentally do everything all the time, because you're just going to be burnt out, and that's what causes burnout, and that's what causes exhaustion and health problems. Like, we we know this. In Romans 8:1, there is no condemnation for those who are in Christ Jesus. Forgive yourself if you didn't get everything done that you wanted to do, that you had planned, because sometimes things don't go to our plans, and that's okay. Priorities. Have a good mindset and biblical mindset. God doesn't call you to do all these things. That we have the law, or yeah, let's use the law for example. There's all these things, and there's a passage in the Bible where a man asks God, "What is um, what is the greatest commandment? And he says to love your neighbor, or love your neighbor, or love God with, I think it's love God with all your heart. So don't put all these standards that God doesn't even have on you, because he knows that you can't do it all, and that's okay. But you like stressing out and crying over things that you can't control or you can't do, don't hold that. Let God take it for you. Like, you don't need to like do everything on your own. God, I have to get this done today. Please give me the strength to do this today. It's an easy prayer, but you don't have to have all this. Like, if you have a list that's this long, try to get to this much. Don't don't stress yourself out, because even God rested. You need rest, and if you're not getting that to your body, you're not going to be to your fullest potential. Reset is not laziness, it's obedience to God, because God calls us to be rest. In Psalms 127, 2, in vain you rise early and stay up late, for he grants sleep to those he loves. He grants sleep to those who love. In vain you rise early and stay up late, for he grants sleep to those he loves. If you go to sleep late and get up early, that's just going to make yourself tired. If you go to bed early and get up early, that's fine too. That's fine. But God gave us sleep for a reason. We have to recharge our souls, recharge our minds. Like, we can't always be doing things. In Hebrews 4:10, for everyone who enters God's rests for their works. You rest after a long day of work. God gave us rest for a reason. The reason why we have rest is because it's a gift. After a long day of work, God gives us rest because he knows that we need it, and the only way to be at our full potential is rest. If you get up early, you should go to bed early. If you go to bed late, you should get up later. Don't stress yourself out if you if because you're just going to burn yourself out. Like, that's what I just want to say. Key takeaways from this is burnout is not part of God's design for our lives. He calls us to rest and renew our souls. Productivity should be purposeful and rooted in faith, focusing on meanings and tasks, not an endless to-do list. Like, if you're just doing all these things, like, what is that benefiting? God's God covers our shortcomings, reminds us that it's okay to not finish everything perfectly. If you don't do everything perfectly, that's okay. You're not called to do everything perfectly. You're called to just do what God's called you to do. But don't stress yourself out if you can't do everything on that list that you decided that you needed to do. Rest as an act of worship and obedience. Allow yourself to recharge in God's honor. Like, you want to be at your peak for God. It's really hard to have a balance sometimes, but I encourage you to have grace on yourself, and it's not easy to put these things into action. Burnout is not part of God's design, but he does call us to renewal. Like, we need to sleep. We need to take a break sometimes. Like, even if we're not sleeping, if we're feeling anxious and we can't do it, walk away. Go do something else. Go watch a movie if you've been working all day. Productivity should be purposeful. Are you doing it for the purpose? For a purpose, or you just have all these things? Another takeaway I would add is remembering to balance is all you're doing. Align your life with God's priorities and grace and the gifts that He